Hi everyone and welcome back to Coffee with My Sunshine. Today's video is extra special because I am hosting a challenge called Using Trash to Create Treasure, and I have invited some of my most favorite DIY friends here on YouTube to collab with me on this challenge. And basically it's like my other Trash to Treasure videos. We're just going to be taking items that we would normally throw in the garbage or recycle, or items that somebody else was going to throw away and we thought of a way to repurpose it. I am also going to list all these wonderful ladies' channels in my description box. I definitely recommend that you head on over and subscribe because I think you will fall in love because they do awesome DIYs. They just have really fun channels to watch. And I want to say thank you to all of them for joining in on this collab with me. So on to what I'm making. I decided to take this foam piece I had left over from a project I had done and turn it into a wreath. And basically I just kind of folded it so that it would take the shape of a wreath. And I used some spray adhesive glue, and I just took it out in the garage and sprayed the back side of it and then folded it in half. And then I had also sprayed the ends with the spray adhesive, but I'm also going to be using some hot glue on the ends to secure it into like the wreath shape. And then for covering it, you can use a fancy ribbon, or just like I'm doing, the burlap. You could use anything that you have. And I just happen to have some scrap pieces of burlap, of course. I will link where I got this in the description box if you're interested. And then I just had some floral pieces, and I attached them with hot glue, but also with some twine, because we have you know, just the regular metal door, but also an outer door. So every time that hits the wreaths that I hang up, things seem to fall off if I don't have them secured. So that's why I use the twine. And then I just used some pine cones. I thought it would be really simple and pretty because we're not quite to fall yet, so I'm not going to go all out. I also add little magnet pieces on the back of my wreaths just so that I can keep it in the same spot on the door and it just doesn't sway back and forth. Also, for this next project, I'm using this scrap fabric that I had in this checkered pattern, and I'm going to draw out, or attempt to draw out, a pumpkin, and I'm going to cut it out. And also I have this piece of sweater that I've been slowly chopping pieces off of for different projects. I'm going to cut that in the same shape of the pumpkin that I did in the other pattern. I'm going to take the checkered pattern fabric and hot glue it onto an old pillow. If you'd like to see how I made this pillow, I will link that above. And this is obviously not going to be a pillow that you lay on, so it's okay to use the hot glue and it will stay as long as you don't have people picking on it too much. So then we're going to take the sweater piece and glue it on top of the checkered fabric. And then, just because I thought it looked unfinished, I'm going to add a little bit of twine around the edge. And I don't know about you, but whenever I try and draw a pumpkin, it always ends up looking like an apple, so I really have to practice that. But this is what it looks like all finished. My next project is probably the one that I like the best. I'm going to take just a box that I would normally throw away or recycle and some paint stir sticks. I just held on to some. Also these this thankful, grateful, blessed sign. I guess it wasn't really a sign, but the words that I had printed out. And this works best with a laser jet printer. It works with inkjet too, but it works best with the laser jet. So you're going to cut them out, take some packing tape, and really press firmly onto the top part of the word. And then you're going to soak them. Go ahead, stick all the tape and the paper. Like I said, you want to press really, really firm. Make sure the tape is really attached to the paper. And just do this for all the words that you're using. And you can use the same bowl, just make sure the paper and the tape are submerged. You don't want any edges sticking out. So while those are soaking, we're going to move on to the box. And you want them to soak for a while because you want them to be able to peel right up, and you'll see what I'm talking about shortly. This is just an easy way if you're not good at freehanding words, or if you don't have one of those machines that cuts the fonts out. So I'm just going to take the stir sticks and kind of decide where I want to put them and in what order. I thought the colors of the paints that were on there kind of just added to the look, so I went ahead and used the used ones. That's actually a shim, it's not a stir stick, but I used it as a paint stir stick. So I just cut them down to size and hot glued them onto the box. And I have a high heat hot glue gun, so it holds really, really well compared to my low heat glue gun that I use sometimes. And you're going to do this on all sides. I just did 3 sides and left the back. I'll probably end up going back and adding stir sticks onto the back because I actually liked how it looked and it was really sturdy after I added the sticks. So you go all the way around and hot glue them. And then for mine, I thought it needed like a little something in the box, so I'm just going to use an old pillowcase and cut it down to size. Here I'm just taking a little bit of chalk paint and I'm just going to lightly brush over all the stir sticks just to give it kind of, you know, like a uniform look. But I want the colors of the paints to come through a little bit too. So here's the pillowcase after I cut it down. And I'm just going to fold over the edges just so it overlaps a little bit. And then I'm going to hot glue them down onto the first stir stick there. All right, and here's our words. My husband actually doubted that this would work, but I was hopeful and I was really glad that it worked. I think it's really cool. So after they have soaked, you're just going to get your hands wet and start rubbing off the paper. And you're going to have to do a lot of like rubbing and rolling and stuff. Keep your fingers wet. I found that that works a lot better. Just get all the little I don't know, the paper pulp off of the tape. And you can keep rinsing the tape off to get the little pieces off if it's easier. And then you just want to set them aside so it's sticky side up. And then after they've dried, they're fully sticky again, which is amazing to me. But it's super sticky like when you first started. And then you can just attach them onto anything. I'm attaching mine to the box. I wasn't sure how I wanted the placement at first, but I thought it would be cute with all of them, you know, on one side. I've seen something similar at Hobby Lobby. And these can be, this technique can be used on glass or plastic or anything. So I'm taking a little bit of chalk paint just to take down some of the shine on the tape. I should have cut the tape shorter, but I didn't. This was the first time I've ever done this, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think of this technique. So I wanted to start this challenge, and if it's a success, if people seem to really like it, I may do this monthly or every other month and just do like a challenge or an open collab. So let me know in the comments below after watching my video and everybody's in the playlist if this is something that you would like to see more often. Well guys, that's about it for my videos. Don't forget to head on over to the playlist and tell my friends hi, show them some love. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new here and coming over from the other channels, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. I would really, really love it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.